Oof. Hey y'all, back with another video. Today what we're gonna do is talk about how you can keep some of that money in your pocket when you want to do that short hair at home. You know, products, tools, all that kind of stuff is cheaper than going to the salon, true enough, but it can still add up. So I'm going to show you some quick shortcuts to help you save money when you're doing your short hair at home. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, the first thing has to do with shampoos and conditioner. I've done a video showing you guys my higher end products, and then I've done a video showing you some cheap alternatives. So what you can do is you can combine the high end with the low end and come to meet somewhere in the middle. This is the Kaye moisturizing shampoo that I love, and this costs about $13 a bottle, and it's only 8 ounces. Okay. Then you have the cheaper alternative, which is the Cream of Nature Argan Oil Moisturizing Shampoo, which I think is like, I don't know, $6 or $7. So probably half the price, and it's 20 ounces. So this is what you can do. You use this first, the cheaper one, and just use a little bit, just enough to create a lather in your hair. Wash your hair, agitate your scalp really, really good, rinse that out. So you just use a little bit. Even if it doesn't like completely coat your hair and get it, you know, squeaky clean, that's not what you're going for. All you want to do is lift the dirt off your scalp and off your hair strands. Think of shampooing like exfoliating. So you just lifting the dead skin up, okay? Then you take the expensive product, you use half of what you would normally use of that product, and you go over your hair a second time. If you wash your hair twice, this is a great way to save some money. If you don't and you just want to save money without mixing the two products, stay tuned because I'll show you how to do that as well. But you want to wash twice, you use the cheaper version first, use half of what you would normally use. Then you go back over with the expensive product, use half of what you would normally use. What you're doing in essence is you're saving half your product every time you use it. You're only using half of it, so it's going to last you twice as long. And the second time you wash your hair, everybody knows this, like you don't need as much product to create that lather, to create that kind of exfoliation and lift that dirt and stuff off your scalp, and to rinse all of those, you know, foreign particles out of your hair, which is all you need to do. So that's tip number one. If you don't wash your hair twice, you only wash one time, which I know a lot of people do. There are many, many times that I only will shampoo my hair through one time. I won't shampoo it twice. There are other times when my hair is especially dirty, or I've used a product that is especially heavy, when I will go in and wash my hair twice. So if you don't wash your hair one time, then use the cheap product this time, wash your hair, rinse your hair, condition your hair. The next time you wash your hair, use the expensive product, and you alternate. You're essentially doing the same thing. You're only using half the product in the same amount of time as it would normally take you to use the whole bottle of the product, because you're switching back and forth. So that's just a little tip to help you stretch the dollar. Okay, when it comes to conditioner, you can pretty much use the same types of tips I just gave for the shampoo. The conditioner that I use is the Kaye Moisturizing Conditioner, which is also 8 ounces, and it's going to run you about $16. And I usually buy them when they're buy one get one, because they are pricey. I mean, that's a lot, but they are amazing products. So I also, as a substitute, I use the Tresemme Moisture Rich Conditioner. This is just a little sample size. My big bottle is in the bathroom. But what you can do with that is essentially the same thing. I will mix half of the high-end conditioner and then half of the cheap conditioner, and I will rub that in and then put a shower cap on it so that heat can help it all penetrate. You get a good conditioning out of that session, and then you rinse it out, and you're doing the same thing. You're just cutting everything in half. You can also do the same switch up alternative method if you want to, where you use cheap one this time, and then the next time you wash and condition, you use the higher end product. What I will say is this: If you're going to alternate instead of mix products, what I would suggest you do, so your hair don't get all jacked up and ratty because you're using, consistently using just cheap product. There is a difference, and you do get what you pay for. So I mean, save money, but like, don't be no fool. So what you want to do is, if you use the cheap version of the shampoo, that same wash, go ahead and use the high-end conditioner, so that your hair is at least getting that nice moisturizing, deep penetrating condition when you use a less effective shampoo. Same thing with the conditioners. If you're going to use the high-end shampoo, then go ahead and use, the cheap alternative for the conditioner during that same wash. I do think that's a good idea to alternate, because over time you'll be able to tell the difference. Everything you do to your hair is cumulative. So yeah, it might look fine this month, it might look fine next month, but 12 months from now, if you were to take your hair and look at it, it may be less healthy, less vibrant, less shiny than it would be if you weren't consistently using cheap products day after day after day after day. So that's my shampoo and conditioner quick tips on how to save you some money. So let's move on to the next item. Okay, y'all know I like my junior wrapper strips. I like the black ones. This is what I use. My head's fairly small. These work for me. The other ones are freaking enormous. So, you guys also know how I wrap my hair. I wrap my hair above the ear, and I tie my head wraps. I put it above the ear and I tie it. I don't do the method where you kind of, lay the wrap strip onto the wet hair and it'll adhere, and then you pull this side this way. I tie mine, and there's two reasons for that. You take the risk, you run the risk of messing up your wrap when you press that wrap strip down on that wet hair before it's set. Especially because you're not a professional, you're doing this at home, you're in the mirror, you're using both your hands to try to do the same thing. So you just run a higher risk of messing things up. Not to say that you can't do it, you can do it. Sometimes I even do it, but I prefer not to. So that being said, when I dry my hair, I usually use 3 wrap strips. So I have one here, I'll show you. I have one across the main middle section, like this. I put another one on top of that one, this way. So I'm kind of getting that hook, that cradle. And then I use a third one to make sure the bottoms of my nape are dried in the exact shape I want. If you notice, like when you see my little feathered edges, that's how I keep them that way, and I set them that way because I wet mold them like that, and I dry them that way so they stay a lot longer, which means less maintenance during the week. So the third one, I tie it this way, really low, and I pull it up like that and tie it. So after my hair is dry and I come from under the hooded dryer, I've got 3 wrap strips, and when I take them off, I don't rip them apart. I actually untie the knot, and when I tie it in a really loose knot. So I untie the knot, and sometimes I don't even knot it, I just tie it once. Untie the knot, take all 3 of them down. So you guys also know that when I wrap my hair at night, I use a junior wrapper strip underneath my scarf. So how do I make that box last and last and last? I take these same ones that are now dry because I've been under the dryer, and at night I only use one. So I just reuse this one at night, tie my hair down, put my scarf on top of this. In the morning, same thing. You could be gentle and take it down. This one wrap strip now has gotten you through a wet wrap, a night of sleep. And you can do multiple nights of sleep with these. You can also rewrap your wet hair with them. They do kind of take the shape of your head. Like if you look at it, you can kind of see it's kind of curving like that because it's taking the shape of my head. So it might not be the best to reuse it on a wet mold, but you can definitely use them every night. And if you like, fix your edges, like the videos I have on how to fix your edges real quick in the morning, or how to lay your nape back down really quick, and you just need to grab something to tie it so that it can dry while you run around and fix your lunch to get ready to go to work, or do your makeup or whatever else you do. Reuse these. I'm telling you, save your money. Reuse these. Easily reusable. All you gotta do is be careful. And here I'll show you guys how I tie it and take it down. Super easy. Put it above my ear. Tie it, and sometimes I just tie it like that. But you can knot it. It's a loose knot. If you look, you can see my finger fits through there. And that's how I do it, and I sit under the drying. So then when it's dry, all I gotta do is this. Or in the morning, bam! Trying to tell you. On to the next. Now, this is something that I came to do because I started to do partial relaxers on my hair. So I partially relax the back. And sometimes, more recently, I've been doing the front because this has been growing faster. And sometimes the edges. When I do that, I use a box perm, usually the ORS retouch application. So it comes in a little box. You're gonna get everything you normally would get in a box perm, including gloves. I keep those gloves. When I do the relaxer where I just partial relax in the back of my hair, a lot of times I don't use gloves. Sometimes I do use gloves. But what happens is over time of me doing those partial relaxers, these accumulate and I keep them. So say I partially relax my hair, 3 times, and I use gloves once. I have 2 extra sets of gloves. So instead of just throwing those out, I just keep them in the little drawer in my bathroom where I keep all my other hair stuff. So like my combs and brushes and all that stuff, I just toss them in there. If you want, you can get a rubber band and just take the rubber band and just loosely tie it so you can keep them together. And so what you end up with is a bunch of these in your drawer. So you can grab them and use them. So like for instance, when I do a full head of relaxer, I use gloves. You need to be safer with that. It's on your hair for a longer period of time. It's a chemical. I mean, you need to use them all the time. Don't always do what I do. Sometimes I go gorilla style. But I'm just saying, this is a tip. Now, normally I buy this from Sally's, which is just a box of latex gloves. You can get them in black. You can get them in this white color. You can get them in, it's not really white, transparent. You can get them in small, medium, large, extra large, and there are 100 in here. So this will last you a very long time. So if you take this, combine it with collecting these, it's gonna significantly cut down the number of times you need to repurchase this box. And these are not cheap. I think this, when I say not cheap, this is like $10. So if you're, just haphazardly going through them and you spending 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, when you don't need to, why not save that money? You know what I mean? Like do something else with it. Buy you some really, really, really good shears, or buy you some Nairobi, wrapping foam instead of the cheaper wrapping foam. Those are the kind of things you can do to kind of cut certain costs in one area and then use that savings in another area where it's more effective to spend more money. So that's another quick tip. Save money on your gloves, ladies. Okay guys, that was it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found these tips helpful. Doing your short hair at home is obviously less expensive, but you can continue to even cut down on those costs. And so who doesn't want to save money? I hope these tips are some you can take away from this video and actually put into use. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you have any other money saving suggestions that I didn't mention in this video, leave those down below as well so that other people can see them and benefit from them. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so. Thank you all so much for watching, supporting, and subscribing. And until next time, guys, bye.